Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'll be talking about Premier League Match Week 5 preview and prediction. And international break is finally over, and Premier League will be back this weekend. And there are going to be really good games this weekend. There's going to be Man City versus Arsenal, Aston Villa versus Leicester City, Everton versus Liverpool. So there are some really good games this weekend, and I'm actually really buzzing for this week. So if you're new here, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And the like target for this video will be 16. Everton versus Liverpool. I think this is going to be a very good game. We all know that Everton are flying at the moment. On the other hand, Liverpool are playing not that well, and then against Aston Villa, that sums up their defense problem, I should say. So for me, I think this is going to be a very good game, and I think this game might really tell us that where will Everton finish at the end of the season, and also for Liverpool. So for me, I think Everton. Maybe some people will be saying that they're going to be favored to win this game because how they're performing. On the other hand, Liverpool defensively they are not that well. So now let me tell you some stats for this game. Everton and Liverpool have played in Everton home stadium 10 times in the past 10 years, and Everton have won once, draw 7 times, and 2 times they lost. So I think this is going to be a very good game, and I think this will actually end up in a draw, and the scoreline will be 2-2, and I think this is going to be a good game. But if I have to choose a winner, I'm going to choose Everton. Chelsea versus Southampton. I think this is going to be a good game because, as we all know, that last season Southampton did beat Chelsea at their home ground. So I think this is going to be a very good game because Chelsea will be aware of this fact, and I think Chelsea will try to avoid that happening again. And on the other hand, for Southampton, they've been playing some decent football recently. They got 2 wins in a row, and I think they are slowly getting back to their form, and they're getting back to some like good momentum. On the other hand, for Chelsea, they are not looking very consistent, or I should say, they're not looking very smooth in their game plan. But I think their performance against Crystal Palace is telling us that Chelsea are getting better and better game by game. So therefore, I think this is going to be a very good game also. But I'm gonna fancy Chelsea to win this game with a scoreline of 3-1. And once again, as usual, I back Danny Ings to score 1 goal. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I'm gonna say that this is gonna be a very good game, and probably this is gonna be the main match for Saturday. I think Manchester City will most likely dominate the possession, and Arsenal will rely on their counter-attack speed. And for Manchester City form, they are not really looking convincing, but if you look back their last game against Leeds United, I think they were actually unlucky to not get all 3 points. Yes, we can also argue that Leeds United were unlucky as well, but I think Manchester City dominate the chances more than Leeds United. I think Leeds United did have more possession, but I think Manchester City did create a lot of chances. On the other hand, for Arsenal, some of their wins are not really convincing. If you look back to their win against West Ham, it wasn't a convincing one. And if you look at the Liverpool performance, they're really playing some bad football. Then if you look at the Sheffield United performance, they were again playing some really good football. So I think it is really hard to judge what kind of Arsenal we're gonna get. But I think Manchester City will actually win this game with a scoreline of 2-0. I think this game can go either way, but I think Manchester City do have a better attack. I know defensively Manchester City do have some problem, but still I'm really gonna back Manchester City to win this game with a scoreline of 2-0. Newcastle versus Manchester United. I think this is gonna be a very important game for Manchester United because after this game they're actually gonna have a very tough fixtures. So therefore I think Manchester United will be eager to bounce back in this game. For Newcastle form, I think they should be happy with this start. They got 7 points in 4 games. It is a very good start for a team like Newcastle. On the other hand, for Manchester United, their last game performance was a complete disaster. I really cannot give any comment for that game. On the other hand, for Brighton one, I should say they were lucky enough to get all 3 points because Brighton were actually playing far better than Manchester United. Their game against Crystal Palace, their performance was disappointing once again. So therefore, I'm actually a little bit worried about Manchester United overall. And as I said many times in my prediction videos, this is a very tight season, especially for the big 6. If they do some silly mistake, it is going to be a very costly because you really cannot make some error and make some silly error, I should say. So therefore, I'm actually really worried about Manchester United. These two teams have met 8 times in the past 5 years. Newcastle won twice, drew twice, and Manchester United won 4 times. So I think this is gonna be a very open game as well, and I am actually gonna go for a draw. Manchester United 1, Newcastle 1. Sheffield United versus Fulham. I think this is gonna be a very important game for both these two teams because they both are pointless this season. So that's why I think this is gonna be a very important game for both of these teams. In terms of form line, I think Sheffield United form line is a little bit better because even though they did lose all of their games, but then if you look at the margin wasn't that big. And if you look at their last game performance against Arsenal and Leeds United, they didn't play that bad. Even against Aston Villa, they got a red card, but they still performed very well. So I think Sheffield United are there, but because their strikers are a little bit disappointing this season, so I think they will have to step up a little bit so that they can get some points. Because defensively, I think they don't really have much problem. Like, of course, the defense is not good as last season, but I still think that they can get some points this season. Like, this is a very terrible start for them, and I really expect them to get a win from here. On the other hand, for Fulham, I'm not underestimating this team, but then I did said in my first video, like Premier League table video, Fulham will struggle in Premier League because they brought a similar side they did last time when they were in Premier League. So therefore, I don't think that they can get points out of this game. I think they'll have to wait until they play against Crystal Palace next match or West Bromwich. Therefore, I'm gonna go with Sheffield United to win this game, the scoreline of 1-0. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Both these two teams did play against some similar opponent they did this season. Crystal Palace did play against Manchester United, Everton, and Chelsea, so is Brighton. So it is a little bit easier to judge their form line. But if you look at the way they play, I should say that Brighton were mostly in the unlucky side. So therefore, I think Brighton will be finally picking up another 3 points this season, and I think they will win with a scoreline of 2-1. Tottenham versus West Ham. Since 2010, these two have played against each other for 21 times, and 10 times Tottenham won, 3 times they drew, and 8 times West Ham won. So I can tell you that this is going to be a very good game to watch. But I think both of these two teams are performing really well, so as West Ham and Tottenham. But I'm going to back Tottenham to win this game. The reason is that Tottenham attack has been looking very good this season. And I did said many times that if Tottenham do take the chances, they are a very dangerous side. And we saw them missing a lot of chances throughout last season as well. But we saw what they did against Manchester United. And I think if they can perform a similar way they did against Manchester United, like take their chances, I can tell you that they can also play some high scoring games throughout the season. So therefore, I'm gonna go with 3 to Tottenham and 1 to West Ham, because West Ham are also playing some really good football. So I can expect a very tight affair, but I think with the attack that Tottenham got, I think Tottenham will be a little bit too good for West Ham. But generally, I'm going to expect a really good game. Leicester City versus Aston Villa. For Leicester City, they are third at the moment, Aston Villa are second at the moment, and Leicester City can eventually move to second spot if they win this game, and Aston Villa can go to first spot. So I think both of these teams will try to get a win out of this game. For Leicester City, their form line, their first 3 games were a good one. But their last game against West Ham, they're playing some really bad football and they lost 3-0. So that's kind of a worrying sign because we saw what happened to them last season when they lost their first game. They started to lose the games and they lost their momentum and they just collapsed. And on the other hand, for Aston Villa, last season, they didn't really perform well. But this season, they're performing very well. So like, we don't know where will Aston Villa actually end up because they are completely a different side this season. So therefore, it is really hard to judge where will these two teams go after this match week, because we might see Leicester City falling apart and maybe like really collapse like they did last season. On the other hand, for Aston Villa, we don't know where will they end up. Like if they win this game, like how long will they keep on winning the games and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, let's come back to this game. For me, the prediction for this game will be Leicester City 1, Aston Villa 1. the second last game is West Bromwich versus Burnley. For me, West Bromwich are coming to this match week with a little bit more confident because the performance hasn't been that bad. They are really actually scoring goals this season. So in terms of their attack, I don't think there's gonna be any problem. But defensively, maybe a little bit problem because they did concede 5 against Everton, they did concede 3 against Chelsea, and they did concede 2 against Southampton. So defensively, I'm actually a little bit worried about West Bromwich. For Burnley, I'm actually very disappointed at this team, and I think I'm gonna stop giving them chances. I remember I did said that the last 2 matches, I think they're gonna draw and also win. I remember I did said that, but they lost both of their games. So I'm actually kind of really disappointed at them, and I really think that at the moment they're going nowhere, and I think they will be pointless after this match week. So therefore, I'm gonna go with West Bromwich 2, Burnley 0. Leeds United versus Wolves. Leeds United will be coming to this match week and telling themselves we can win this game as well, because they've been performing very well. And if I say that Wolves will actually win this game, some people will actually call me stupid. But in terms of defensively, Leeds United do have some problem. We did saw their performance against Manchester City. Their defense is not really convincing. Strikers, they don't really have any problem at the moment, but defensively, I think they still have some problem. And you know how good Wolves is in when it comes to counter-attack football, and this is what I expect Wolves to play, because for sure Leeds United will come at them, and Wolves will actually appreciate that. Wolves will actually rely on their counter-attack speed to score goals. So this is going to be a very good game to watch. On the other hand, for Wolves' performance, they've been performing really bad this season. They did lose against Man City, they did lose against West Ham 4-0, but they did pick up a win against Fulham. It wasn't a convincing win, but they did got 3 points, so they're gonna be happy with that. So for my prediction, I really expect this game to be a really good game, and we can actually expect some goals, because if Wolves defensively do perform well, I can expect a really good game. But if Wolves defense don't perform well, I can expect a one-sided affair for Leeds United. For my prediction, I'm gonna go with Leeds United 2 and Wolves 2, because both these two teams do have defensive problem, and their strength is kind of attacking football. Like Leeds United are really good at attacking, and Wolves are really good at counter-attack football. So we're gonna expect this game for sure. Like Leeds will attack, Wolves will play counter-attack football. So therefore, I'm gonna go with a draw 2-2. So that's it for Premier League Match Week 5 preview and prediction. If you're new here, please give a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for my next video. Probably I'll post around Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah.